I'm Richard Ollis. I'm from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm a heart disease survivor. I grew up in Springfield, Missouri, and we're an old North Side family. In fact, I'm the third generation of our family to go to Central High School. We had a business up on Commercial Street, and so I graduated from Central, went in the Navy, then came back to Missouri State, and then decided that I would go in the family business. And so I've been in the insurance business at Ollis and Company ever since. You know, really, there was no family history of heart disease in my family. And growing up, you know, in the 60s and 70s, a little different than it is now, we had lots of meat and potatoes. We ate well, but probably not to the extent that we would today. We were a very, very active family. I played a multitude of sports, and then even in the Navy, played tennis and some other sports. So always had a very active lifestyle. You know, I was on a walk, of all things, with my wife, and we were walking out in our neighborhood. It was a nice winter day, and I noticed that I really became short of breath and started experiencing some pressure in my chest and actually some pain down my arm. And it was really at that moment that I kind of thought back, frankly, to the education that the Heart Association does about experiencing those types of symptoms. And it was actually that education and that knowledge that led me into urgent care, where I went in, failed an EKG, went to the emergency room, and from there they did tests. I failed a stress test where they put me on the treadmill, the typical thing, and so they performed an angiogram, and I came out of that procedure and was waking up, and I asked the doctor, I said, well, did you put a stent in? And he said, no, we didn't put a stent in. And I thought for a second, I was a little groggy, and I said, you know, that's probably not good. And he said, no, it's not good. There was more blockage than we anticipated, and we're going to schedule you for open heart surgery. And I had 4 clogged arteries, and they were significantly clogged. And so as they performed the surgery and did the procedure, they were able to bypass 3 of those arteries. You know, certainly I wasn't awake for any of the surgery, but my understanding and certainly the way I felt afterwards, I can tell you it was a significant event. Whenever you have your chest cut open and, for lack of a better word, cracked open, have your heart taken out and put on a machine while a very talented and skilled surgeon obviously bypasses it, it is a very significant event. And I can tell you that it takes time, and there is a lot of pain associated with recovery. I think sometimes we as a society really don't acknowledge or understand how significant it is and the recovery time that it takes to get back to where you were. And frankly, if you want to live a very full and active life, the time you have to put in rehabbing. And so I just say that anything that can be prevented where you don't have to go through that experience, I would advocate every day that prevention and someone not having to go through that experience is extremely relevant and important. Certainly, if you can quit smoking, I mean, that is such a big deal as far as heart disease goes. If you can keep your weight in check, eat a reasonable diet, exercise on a daily basis, and just lead an active lifestyle, literally 80% of heart disease can be virtually eliminated. But I will tell you, we have found that eating less meat and eating more fruits and vegetables makes you feel better. And so we have made some adjustments as a family after this event, which I think has been positive for the whole family. And in a company, you certainly want energetic employees. You want employees that feel good, right, on a daily basis. They're going to be far more productive, they're going to be happier, and they're going to serve your client better. We have an on-site fitness facility, and we partner with Thrive Personal Fitness. Pamela Hernandez actually has an on-site studio, and we get the advantage of being able to work with her, which is, I think, awesome. And so we really view health care differently, focusing more on health than health care. Well, the American Heart Association, as you know, supports so much research and education and things like that that help people. My experience would have been much, much different just several decades ago. And think about the progress we can make together if we all support the American Heart Association. In fact, who knows what might be available even a few short years from now, and someone going through my situation or even worse will have a much, much better outcome and live a long and full life.